Good morning, everyone. I'm Laurie, and it's time for the Empower Hour, which is a weekly segment that I broadcast live every Wednesday morning from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. And it's so good to see so many friends here on the YouTube page tuning in. And I do believe that I've got the chat open. There you go for the YouTube page, as well as the online community, which is www.themysticalmoon.ning.com. And I hope all of you had a really great 4th of July, at least spending some time with family and friends and just kind of taking it easy, right? We get so busy in our worlds and with all the things that we want to accomplish and our obligations and responsibilities that we don't always take time to spend, whether it's with ourselves, just to relax, or with those that we love and care about. And it is important to make those relationships a priority in our lives. And yesterday I kind of hung out at home with family, and we swam, we had a barbecue. It was really nice to just relax and watch the fireworks out on the lanai. And it was a really nice 4th of July. And I say, all of you here in the online community, good morning. And this week we don't have that technological glitch with the online community, so I can see all of your comments. So that most certainly does help with the interaction. And good morning again to those who are tuning in on the YouTube page. If you enable the chat, you can type in your comments and your questions on the side there. And I am able to kind of go back and forth with those, with both platforms. All right, so good morning, Kelly. Good morning, Heather. Good morning, Karen. Good morning, Andrea. Good morning to all of you. All right, so this week's topic, which I'll get into in just a little bit, are just psychic development tips, which will help you develop your intuition and to trust your intuition even more so. All righty, that's what we have up and coming. Up and coming on Thursday night in the Fort Myers location, Joanne and I will be hosting our Diksha Blessing and Crystal Bowl Meditation, and that starts at 7 p.m. On Friday here in the Bonita store, Pam will be hosting her Reiki Circle, and that starts at 7 p.m. as well. In Fort Myers on Saturday, we have our monthly psychic fair, and that's from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. with discounted readings and energy healing sessions. And also, I have been shopping to replenish both of the stores. We've, I don't even know what's going on. It's a good thing. We've been busier than even in season. So the crystals, the hot items, the crystals, the cards, the incense, sage, books, jewelry, a little bit of everything is all kind of flying out the door. So I have been replenishing both stores with juicy new products. And for those who plan on coming in this weekend, and I think I'm going to put a code in the online store. Make sure I make a note of that too. On Saturday in both locations, you know what, let's do it Saturday and Sunday, as well as online shopping. I'll send an email out for Moon Magic sprays. I'm going to do them 50% off. So you can't beat that price. You know, that's a pretty good deal. So you might as well stock up on the sprays that you love already. Now, this will not include those pet sprays that are right now discounted at 50% off. So all sprays, Saturday and Sunday, both locations, and the online store, 50% off. As I mentioned, it's a great deal. Also, Ashley Devine's last day in Fort Myers and with the Mystical Moon in person is going to be Tuesday, July 11th. I was going to say April. Tuesday, July 11th, and her schedule is filling up quite a bit. She's almost full on Friday in the Fort Myers location, and then Saturday for the Psychic Fair in Fort Myers. You can call. She has a couple more sessions open, and then next Tuesday, less than a week away, she's going to be hosting her last day here and then is going to be heading out west. So if you're interested in scheduling with Ashley, whether in person or over the phone, the website is mysticalmoonpsychics.com. Except for the Psychic Fair, you have to call in for that. Also, there goes my light. My lights, they're a little temperamental in this room. In Oh, so I have been adding more readers to our busy already roster, full roster, and I've added Beverly, Beverly Frable. I don't know, I got a little tongue twisted this morning. Beverly Frable will be available for phone readings on, let me get this right, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday, like almost every day, through the phone line system. And she's a master of the tarot, and she's been teaching tarot, and I don't know how many decks Beverly has, but Beverly's available for phone consultations. And I also have, we welcome Claudia Johnson full-time here to the store, so in person and over the phone. And then we have a couple more people that I will be unveiling, a couple more readers to fulfill our busy requests here, busy phone lines and storefront. Lots of people wanting a little bit of guidance, a little bit of assistance with a spiritual counselor. And our energy healing sessions also book up very quickly as well. So lots of exciting stuff going on, adding to staff, adding classes. Oh, I almost forgot about next Monday the 10th. Next Monday the 10th, I'm going to be hosting a study group for those who have participated in the Anastasia system of psychic development here in the Bonita Springs store. You must have had at least taken one class with the Anastasia system, and it's going to be from 6:30 to 8:30. And I'm also going to be streaming live in the online community too, in that category, in that group. I should probably double check on that. For the Anastasia students, there it is, the Anastasia system of psychic development. So I will invite a few of those who are in the online community who have already, I know who have already participated in that group with those classes. And so this is just for people to touch base and to discuss some things that may have popped up while taking those classes. And I think that's all I've got for now. That was a lot. And again, I invite you to type in your questions and comments in the YouTube, Google Hangout chat, as well as in the online community. So that moves us into the topic of this week, which is psychic development. Psychic development is something that I believe everybody would benefit from by taking psychic development courses. And I know that Sandy Anastasia also, is a strong advocate for every person to learn or take psychic development courses and have a basic knowledge and understanding for reading energy, knowing yourself, being able to trust yourself, and with your life decisions, knowing how to read energy, positive energy, negative energy, energy that's off, knowing what's yours, what is not yours. And we all have that internal GPS that we're born with. And some of us have learned to embrace it more easily, or it's more easy for them to embrace. And for some of us, we have maybe grown up in a certain environment where that was not supported or talked about. Maybe it was a little bit taboo. For some people, maybe they've had their intuition turned on full blast, and they got overwhelmed and didn't know how to control it or how to manage it. And that does happen a lot with people. We see that all the time here, as where people come in and they're curious, they know they have a gift, but they're afraid of what they're going to see. They're afraid of what they're going to hear and feel, and it can be completely overwhelming. And that might be one topic that I'm going to work on next week, in learning how to control it and how to manage your psychic abilities. I'm going to write it down, I'll forget it. So that is something, though, that you can do, and you do not need to be a victim of psychic energy. Your environment, physical energy, non-physical energy, it does not need to control and rule your life where you don't know what's coming and you're overwhelmed. And that's exhausting, to be honest, to be led like with a string of energy all over the place, like a dog on a leash, right? Like, here we go, here goes that energy, and it's pulling me all over the place, and not learning how to recognize it, harness it, and ground it. So we'll talk about that next week. But for today's topic, we're going to talk about psychic development for ourselves and learning how we can integrate a couple of tips and tools and maybe some books to help us with this. Okay, so I do see a comment from Andrea. Oh, that's a question too. Okay. So I will definitely get into your questions in just a little bit. And good morning, Sonia. Good morning. So the psychic development, the psychic questions, I'm so glad you're typing them in. I will get into them after I cover our topic. And good morning to all of those who are just tuning in now. All right. So as I mentioned, psychic development is something that everybody can and would benefit from by learning more about these abilities, their own abilities. It's the study about learning about your own intuition and how it works. Being able to trust yourself with your own intuitive nudges and being able to read energy. Something we all do. Something we do with maybe not even realizing it, whether you have a gut feeling or you feel a little off or you feel a little antsy. You know, that does happen to me sometimes, and I have to stop and breathe and go within and recognize, kind of identify what's going on. Why am I all over the place? Why am I not grounded in my center and my being? And then I might have to just do some internal checks. Is there something I'm worried about? Is there something that's concerning me? Am I stressed in this present moment? Am I focused too much on the past or the future and not focusing on the here and the now and bringing my awareness here? So that is an intuitive sign or message that's trying to get through and come through to you. So here are my tips, and I have more than 20. So I listed this as 20 psychic development tips, but so far I got 23, and who knows how many we'll get into. I might even add a few more, but I want to make sure that I do get to everyone's questions. And I am going to say hello. If you're on YouTube, I did open the chat, so it would be, I believe, on the left-hand side somewhere. And then you could type in your psychic questions and or comments, anything you want to share. Alrighty. So tip number 1, meditate. Meditate, 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 meditate. If you do not already have a regular meditation practice, I'm going to encourage you, strongly suggest and encourage you to have one, to formulate one, whether it's once a day for 20 minutes, whether it's once a day for an hour, whether it's twice a day at 10 minutes a clip, whether it's 2 or 3 times a week. I want you to try to meditate at least 2 or 3 times a week if you can. And there are many different types of meditations. There are guided meditations. There are mantras. There are active meditations where you're, say, outside and you're gardening. That's a meditation whenever you're able to stop the outside world and turn inward and observe what's going on and listen to thoughts coming and going and identifying what's going on within your very being and connecting to your higher power and the light and aligning yourself with that energy. That is a meditation practice. A lot of people put a lot of pressure on themselves with meditation of how it should look and how it should feel. It's going to look and feel different for everyone. For me, a lot of times, I've mentioned this many times, I fall asleep. I might fall asleep. However, I know that I'm not quite sleeping. I'm in between. I'm in between the realms, and I'm in a deep, deep, deep meditation. I'm conscious and aware of my environment. However, I'm not quite all in my body. And so I'm observing what's happening. And there may be random thoughts that come and go in that meditation. That is okay. There's nothing wrong with that, all right? So any type of regular practice 2 to 3 times a week to help you connect and align yourself with your higher power is wonderful. And why do I suggest you meditate? Because you're going to be able to identify what's you and what's not you. And you'll be able to align and recharge your batteries by plugging into the light. And you'll be able to create pathways of energy and information and light to help you problem solve and identify different things that are going on in your environment and with yourself. Okay. All right, so Marnell did have a question in regards to psychic development. What are my thoughts about divination with pendulums? As with any divination tool, you can use them to gain more clarity within situations. However, we do run the risk with any divination tool of becoming codependent. And with some areas, we're very much attached to the outcome in the situation. So therefore, we may try to influence our answer, or our interpretation may be off just a little bit. So pendulums are wonderful tools to help you receive more clarity with the areas that you're inquiring about. So it's just like with any other tool, there are guidelines that I suggest that you follow. You know, only seek information that you have permission to, right? If you've got to ask about it, like, ooh, is this the gray area? I probably wouldn't ask about that. No psychic spying. And to respect an answer you receive, trust that and move on. That's another thing. And not ask the same questions over and over. People get into that gray area with cards, with runes, with any type of divination tool and or intuitive counseling session. So I think that pendulums are a wonderful tool. They can be. You know, and you can overdo it by having a hard time consulting. You know, you have to consult with your pendulum with every single action that you take. That's the gray area, right? So you kind of do need to police yourself when working with divination tools, but I think that they're a wonderful tool. I would cleanse my pendulum often, either with sea salt or maybe smudging it. And with my pendulum, I prefer to be the only one touching it who uses it. All right. All right. So tip number 2, journal. I think, and I know from personal experience, that journaling your thoughts, your dreams, your intuitive messages, that it helps you get from here or here to paper, to allow that stream of consciousness to flow through you from your intuitive self to your paper, to your book. And then you can read it later if you want, or another day, or you can, some people don't even read what they wrote. But it's a method of divination, and it definitely helps you chart your progress, helps you put your prayers in there. You can also create, you know, a huge binder and have that as your journal where you put your dreams. You could put your messages during meditation. You can put your psychic intuitive hits on there, right? When you receive psychic messages and it was a correct message, you can put your predictions down there. A journal is a wonderful way to document your progress and to help you get outside of your mind and just allow that information to flow. Another tip is to be the observer in your life, to kind of look at the bigger picture of what's going on and listen to the intuitive messages and that are coming from the higher self and your guides and the light and your angels and all those wonderful beings that you work with. By being the observer, you're able to see what's going on without a reaction. And if we're the observer, we stop for a moment and pause for that higher self to communicate with us. All right, so be an observer rather than being reactive and sometimes allowing that negative ego to cloud our judgment. And then I'll go into the next part of that, which is about working on raising your vibration. And you're welcome right now for the, so you typed in, thank you for the insight into pendulums. So raising your vibration will help you with your intuitive messages. If you've taken any of my psychic development classes, you're going to know that I quite frequently talk about those pipelines of energy and information coming through, and they come through more clearly the cleaner the connection. So that means raising your vibration. It means being an observer. It means meditating. It means taking better care of yourself. It means working through your issues. If you want to be more psychic, you're going to have to let go some of that stuff that's holding you back, whether it's emotional, codependency, whether it's an addiction, whether it's being addicted to drama. People could be addicted to drama, whether it's speaking negatively, that lowers your vibration. Wah, wah. You know, so say if you're talking about, you know, all the troubles in your world all the time, and that's your focus, that's your point of view, that lowers your vibration. That does not help you expand your consciousness. So self-care, spiritual hygiene, that's going to help you as a psychic development tip to help you raise your vibration so you can hear spirit more clearly. The next tip I have is to take psychic development classes. That does help you in a group setting, whether it's online or in person. Of course, I suggest you do your research and really tune within, go within and see if the teacher and or the course or the information resonates. That's where meditation and being an observer is going to help you to discern whether this feels right for me or it doesn't. But taking classes is a wonderful thing to do because you're hopefully learning new skills and being in a supportive group environment that does help, give you a little bit of a psychic boost to raise your vibration. So classes are wonderful. Also reading books on higher consciousness, whether it's a Jane Roberts book, Seth Speaks, Abraham Hicks, gosh, I could see him right now. I think it's Greg Braden, The Scientist, any book that after you have done the same thing with the psychic development courses, you've gone within, you kind of took the information and felt the energy of that published book, see if it resonates, okay? So reading books will help you. And there are quite a few standbys that many people do connect with, right? That are like bestsellers. You Can Heal Your Life. That will help you with your intuition. As I mentioned, Jane Roberts, Abraham Hicks. Gosh, I could see them right now. Kabbalah books will help you as well. Oh, Bashar. Oh, so there's books, there are books, and then there also are YouTubes, because I keep seeing Bashar in front of me. So Bashar, let me write his name down. He does some channeling, and he has some really great stuff there. Theo, which is Gillette, has a couple of books that are out there as well. Those will help you too. There's a question. I'm reading the question. Andrea has a question. Why does Spirit say to go slow when one is trying to work on your abilities? Because you are raising your vibration. As you raise your vibration, the integration and the shift in your frequency is increased. So sometimes when we're developing and opening up even more so, the physical body needs to catch up, which is one thing, which I'm hearing right away. Sometimes the physical body needs to catch up because there's such a higher frequency of energy that is flowing through the body. Sometimes people have colds or their immune system is off just a little bit. You might need to adjust your diet. Might need to drink more water. And as you work on those abilities, it's the same thing as expanding your consciousness. So that means some things, some challenges in your life might pop up, some old belief systems. So it may take a while to integrate this different way of living life, of existing. Your perception's going to change. So that might take a little bit of an adjustment. Your relationships might change. That might need you might need to adjust to that, whether it's spiritually, mentally, emotionally, or physically. All right. So the psychic ability is not just the psychicness or intuitiveness. It affects all aspects of us. I hope that makes sense. And you say, oh, okay, you're welcome. So when you are developing your abilities, it affects all areas. Just like if you were to work on an emotional wound, that will affect all areas of you. That will affect your intuition. It will affect your physical body. It will affect your thinking as well. Okay? So it's an integration of all. One thing in our life affects all, right? It's all interconnected. Okay? All So the next tip. All right, this is a Sandy Anastasia tip, rub your third eye. So I know I've mentioned this before, rubbing that third eye opens up and activates your intuition. It expands it, and it's a reminder. It's like a conditioning. Higher self, please help me to become more intuitive. And that is also an intention, and just having that, formulating that statement, that question, that request, that does provide you opportunities to open up your intuition. So there might be some challenges that come up. There might be some belief systems. Just asking for it will instigate different changes in your life. Okay. Using essential oils such as frankincense, blue yarrow, and patchouli will help open up your intuition. So you can put these oils in a diffuser for when you meditate. You could put a drop or two on your third eye, or put a couple drops in your hands and breathe in the aroma. And those different fragrances, aromas, trigger different reactions within the brain. When you breathe in with aromatherapy, it's very close to the brain, so that creates a shift within you. And those are just a few of the oils that can help you with your intuition. There are so many different ones. Using crystals will help you raise your vibration and become more intuitive. Crystals, by holding them, such as amethyst, lapis lazuli, pedalite, azeztulite, apophyllite, selenite. A lot of those do help you raise your vibration, and they work on the crown chakra and the third eye chakra. So those will help you with your intuition as well. I kind of mentioned this one before, having your psychic hit list. So this would be the entries in your journal where you write down all of the times that you had received a psychic message and you were pretty accurate with it. That brings in positive reinforcement, which most certainly does help us grow. Positive reinforcement is the #1 way to help you with your confidence with your own intuition. Practice doing readings with friends. So this also will help you develop your intuition, because quite frankly, you can take all of the classes you'd like, all of the psychic development classes, and if you do not get in there and practice, then you are limited in your abilities to see how your intuition flows. And practice, practice, practice is going to help you with just about almost any and every scenario that may come up when working with your intuition, whether you're sharing mediumship messages, or whether you're reading tea leaves, or whether you are reading cards. The practice is what is going to help you to turn on your intuition and turn it off. Okay? Telepathy exercises. So this is having games. I'm going to say games. It's fun. It's play. And sending a picture, a shape, a color to someone, and then work on receiving those messages. Because with telepathy, you are learning how you receive that information, how it comes to you. Do you hear it more? Do you see it more? And you'll learn more about what your flow feels like and how to receive messages, how that feels too, how it's different to decipher that as well. A lot of the messages do come through telepathy, thought to thought, mind to mind. Looking at the crown mandala with the crown mandala printout from Sandy Anastasia will certainly help. I'm going to go to the website and I'm going to put that in there again. I've done it before, but just some really great resources. The crown mandala, when you look at the sacred geometries, it unlocks different parts of the brain that work with the intuition. Let me grab this quick. So she has here. I'll copy it quick for those here. You can click on that and you can print it out too. We have them, sometimes I post them up around the store here so that we, as readers, intuitives, that's warming up exercise to help you open up your intuition, and it does work. Remember though, as I've mentioned this many times before, that you don't want to overdo it. Make sure that you're also grounded. You're grounded in your body and you're focused, and that you're not working on your intuition and then going out and driving a car. You want to make sure that you're completely back in your body so that you don't overdo it, okay? Oh, here, I'll put it in the chat area too, and YouTube. So again, you want to make sure that you're not completely opening yourself and going out and operating vehicles or counting money or something that you need to be present with, right? You can make some mistakes there. Let's see what else we've got here. Use your discernment with studying. I kind of touched upon that before. With information, does it feel right? If you are taking any kind of course, anything, but it's not just psychic development. If you're taking any kind of course and the information feels off, if you don't feel like you're being treated nicely, if you So I'm back. So I don't know if it's just going to pick up where I see. I've got my sage going here, sort of, kind of, sort of. Let me see here. Uh-oh. No, there we go. Wrong window. Okay, I've got my sage going. It's like, okay, let's just clear the energy a little. They're doing a lot of construction here at the Bonita Spring store, so I think sometimes that kind of tweaks with the internet a little bit. So yes, do that, please. And then moving forward, the next one is to be patient. So be patient with the process. To expect upon that before with learning to build upon the energy that your frequency is expanding and growing, and it takes time to do so. Okay, if you had all of the knowledge right away and all of the information, that would be huge, and it may overwhelm you, and you may not learn how to trust it and to integrate it. So be patient with the process. It takes a long time, and know that there are different tiers or see if it still is going. It keeps flicking on and off. So if it does it again, I'm going to say that we might have to quit. We might have to cut the segment short. All right. So the next one I'm going to go on to is scanning the 72 names. The 72 names of God are 72 levels of consciousness that we work through to become more godlike in our existence, of raising our own vibration. So as you see, these are Hebrew letters, and it's the 72 names of God, and you can find a chart anywhere, and it's a Kabbalistic teaching. The 72 names of God are not names in the ordinary sense. They are different from the signature on a letter or the back of a credit card. Instead, they are channels of the infinite spiritual current that flows through the world. By connecting to these sources of spiritual power, we acquire protection from any and all forms of negativity and danger. We remove the blockages that separate us from total joy and fulfillment. We open the pathways to transformation for ourselves and for the entire world. So the way you would scan these are from right to left, and you just allow your eyes to gaze upon the different names and levels of consciousness. And I'm going to encourage There we go. All right, so I'm back. So what I'm going to do then, because I kind of think that it's going to happen again. So I'm going to answer, whoopsie, your psychic development, your psychic questions here in the online community. Okay, so let me get back here. So the first question was from Andrea, is my daughter gifted, and does her ability have to do with her drawings? Well, I do feel that, yes, your daughter is gifted, Andrea, and I do think her drawings are a way that she connects to spirit, like some people work with automatic writing, and that's a way for her to channel that information through. So yes, she's gifted, and her drawings are